Good morning and welcome to the Parkinson's class for World Parkinson's Day. I'm Karen and I'm here at Everyone Active in Hemel, Hempstead. So I hope you'll join in and enjoy the class with us. So we're going to start by sitting nice and upright in your chair. So if we can come away from the back of the chair a little bit, feet flat on the floor, and think about our posture. So we're going to sit up nice and tall. So let's just take those shoulders and roll them round. That's lovely. So getting the movement in the shoulder, not forcing anything, just relaxing the arms, that's it. And then on the next one, as we take those shoulders up and back, we're just going to drop them down and leave them there, okay? Think about sitting into your hips nice and tall, as if you're growing through the back of your spine, pulling up through the back of the body. Now let's keep the chin in and turn the head. So when you turn your head, keep your shoulders back, keep your chin tucked in, and imagine you're turning your head on a shelf. Excellent. And come back to the center. Now we're going to take our shoulders up towards the ears and then draw your shoulder blades back down to where they were just now. Draw them up and pull them down. That's that. Lovely, and then we're going to leave them down. Sitting up nice and tall. So if you do find that you are slouching a bit, we just sit back up again, don't we? Okay, so we're going to try and rotate now, but instead of moving the head, we're going to move the body. So we're thinking of turning through the spine in this sort of area. So let's see if we can twist and turn our body to one side. Nice and tall, back to the center, and then round to the other side. So try and see if you can turn your body, not just your head. Lovely. And back to the center. So this time now we're going to come to the back of the seat a little bit, just so we're aware that we're staying back. So as we do this, we don't want to drop forward. So we're going to try and come down to one side. Now if you need support, just place your hand on the chair. If not, you can reach down. But if that feels uncomfortable, keep your hand there and just lean over. So as we do this, can we keep the chest nice and open? Keep your shoulders back. Good. Keep the weight in both hips. So we're not just rolling over. Push those hips into the chair. Lovely, and sit nice and tall. So we're going to do what's called a bottom walk now. So this is about moving your hips backwards and forwards on the chair. So the easy way to do it is to use momentum, to rock your body. So we don't want to just rock though, as we're going to stay on the same spot, aren't we? So what we're going to do is rock, and as you lift one side of your hips, move that forward, and then rock the other side. So can you see I'm rocking my body forward? I want to try and get to the front of the chair. Yeah? So every time you lift one side of the hips, move it and put it down in a new spot. So you move it to a new spot, move, lift and move, rock and move to a new spot. That's it, that's lovely. So you can travel on your chair. If you find that easy, rather than rocking to do it, stay quite upright and see if you can just move your hips. That's a bit harder though. That's actually really good for your lower back, and it actually helps with walking because of the movement of the hips. So you can try and get your hips to move a little bit. That would be more beneficial, but if you can have to sway, then you sway. Good work. Okay, so we're going to finish somewhere in the middle of the chair, so we will come back to that move. We're going to need that one again. Okay, so sit nice and tall. Let's see if we can circle the wrists. So rather than just moving the arms, we want to rest the hands and the wrists, that's it. So you've got your hands hanging off, but you've got the whole of your forearm on your leg. And then we're going to circle the wrists. Lovely. Can we take them the other way around? Big circles. Think about your movement. That's lovely. And then sit back up. Now we're going to do a little bit of just opening and curling through the spine. So keep the hands where they are, sit tall. And we're going to try and curve the back towards your chair. Now we're going to try and do this without collapsing, so I'm going to show you the difference. If you do it with collapsing, you just sort of let go. I want you to stay nice and tall and push your back towards the chair and come back up. So it doesn't matter if our movements aren't all exactly the same, we've all got different movement, but try and push back through your back, just gently stretching. Can we feel that working? So just push back. Excellent. Okay. Now we're going to do that bottom walk again, and we're going to come a bit further forward on the chair. From there, we're going to reach the hands to the back of the chair or just backwards. And I want you, as you do this, to think about what's happening at your shoulders. Can we roll that shoulder back a little bit so you're opening through your chest? Take a nice breath in. Can we feel a little bit of a stretch? Lovely. And release. Roll those shoulders again. So encourage that sort of opening of the chest without arching the back. Lovely. Let's sit up nice and tall again. So if you find this difficult, just move back a little bit so you're on the chair a bit more. So we're going to tap the toes forward. And again, we're thinking of our posture. So we're not slowly collapsing. Try and sit up nice and tall. Wasn't looking at anyone in particular. Lovely. Now let's see. So we're trying to do toes on this one. Toes. Toes. That's that. Toes. So sometimes it helps to say it to yourself as you're doing the movement. So if you're struggling with something, you just say to yourself what you're doing. We're tapping toes, toes, toes. We're sitting tall. And you can change it to heels now. Just tap that heel. Tap. Lovely. Nice and tall. Good. Okay, now we're going to tap under the chair, so we're going to tap it back. Tap. Tap. Keep one foot where it is. Tap the other one, put it back. Tap and back. Tap and back. That's that. Tap and back. You should feel you moving and using a little bit more through the back of the thigh. Lovely work. Okay, now we're going to do that bottom walk again. You see how happy that is? We're going to come to the front of the chair. From here, we're going to try and stretch the leg out and then put it back on the floor. Again, sit nice and tall for me. Leg goes away and back. One at a time for me. That's it, Ira. That's it. Lovely. Sit tall. Lift up through your heart. No slouching. Nowhere to hide, is there? Lovely. Now we're going to hold that. So we're going to take that, sit up again, pull your toes back a little bit. Can we feel a little bit of a pull down the back of the leg? So if you can't really feel that, keep your legs straight, sit tall, and tip forward from your hips. So make sure you're not curling. Keep really long and tip forward. Keep your chin in. Can we feel a bit of a stretch now down the back of that leg? Fantastic. So breathe and just hold it there. Okay, come up, bring that leg in. Take the other leg out, draw your toes back, sit tall again. From your hips, tip forward. Can you feel that stretch? So this is a really good stretch to do. You want to keep long through the back of the leg, so this helps with the heel strike when we walk. Lovely. And bring it back. So somewhere in the middle of the chair again. We're going to do some bigger movements now. So we place the hands on the knees. And we're going to take one arm back and draw a nice big circle. Now if you get to here and you can't circle, you just take your arm out. Yeah, so you're circle is the biggest that you can do. Good. Lovely, let's do the other side. That's it, really think about drawing that circle. Obviously don't do anything that's hurtful.
It's hurtful.
It's fine.
It's terrible, isn't it? I've got an alarm on it and it goes up and you know.
It's got an alarm on the phone.
That's fine.
She has to
So
take
that-
phones.
So let's keep circling the arms.
Well, me.
You. Yes. You and me. Lovely. Change to the other side.
Oh, up early today.
Okay. So we're going to sit nice and tall. Put one toe on the floor. So with your heel, try to draw a circle for me. So we're taking that round in a circle. We're trying to get some nice movement through the ankles. And across round to the other side. A different direction now, really think about how that movement is. And then change to the other foot, draw a circle with the heels. And then the other way. Lovely. We're going to sit up tall again, feet on the floor. So we're going to see how we feel coming forward. Can we lean forward over our legs? So as far as you can, we're doing big movements, so whatever you can comfortably do. See if you can come down, touch your toes or touch the floor or wherever you can get to. Now put the hands back onto the knees and use that to help you sit up. Okay, all good. Let's do that again. Come forward, come down, come back to the knees, push yourself up. Should we do one more? So nice big movement. Hands on knees. And use the hands to help push you back up. That's it, hands on knees and push back up. Lovely. So we're going to do some nice big movements. We're going to try and imagine we're picking something up from the floor on the outside of our foot and sit up with that. So reach down to one side as if you're going to pick something up. Sit up, push into your feet, sit nice and tall. Reach down towards the other side, so push into your feet, sit up nice and tall. Now we're going to sit up with that and we're going to reach across to the opposite side. Come back, reach down, sit up and reach across to the other side. Good work. Let's do some of the other side. So we're going down to this side, sit up, reach across. And again, down to this side, sit up and reach across. Lovely, well done. I'm going to take the arms nice and wide. So again, try to sit up away from the back of the chair a little bit. Because obviously if you're resting on the chair all the time, the chair is helping you, which means that your support won't be so strong. We want to strengthen it. If you get tired, you can of course sit back. Take the arms wide, and we're going to try and just draw the shoulder blades together and just do a little bit of opening. So it's good for your posture this. Open the arms. Lift up through your heart. Try not to arch your back. Try and just open your arms. Bring them back a bit. And lovely. Well done. Okay. So from where you are now, we're going to do those heel dips. So try and sit up away from the chair. Try and move forward a bit on the chair if you want to make it a little bit harder. Okay, we're going to add some movements to this. So let's try and keep the foot movement going. Take the arms by your side. The arms by the side. And then from your arm position by the side of your chair, we're going to draw the arms back. So this is brain. It's an unusual movement. Don't do this every day, yes?
Get running,
So let's take the legs out. Let's do the arms. So remember they're going backwards. So say that to yourself. Back. The arms go from the side. Draw them back. Draw them back. That's forward. Draw them back. Draw them back. Now you can tap or you can do a heel dig, but as your arms go backwards, we're going to take 1 foot forward. So just 1 foot. This is as you draw your arms backwards. A little bit of a test, this one, isn't it? Lovely. Okay, now just take the arms back. Good. Let's take 1 forward and 1 back. But try to keep your heart up. So try not to do it like this. Try and lift up. Lovely. Good work. Let's rest the upper body a little bit. Okay, so we're tapping forward. We're doing heel digs now. Good. And we're going to start to straighten the legs up now. So again, think about what's right for you. If this is easy, you want to be at the front. If this is difficult, you want to come back a little bit. So all of that chair, that's all different positions. So think about where you want to sit, but you have to stay sitting up so you can't collapse as you lift your leg, yeah? So sit high, nice and heavy into those sitting bones, into those hips, nice and tall. Straighten your leg out. You should feel that muscle working. And slowly down. Now straighten the other leg out. That's lovely. Don't forget to breathe. Keep your shoulders relaxed, nice and tall through the body. How does that feel? Not too bad? Yeah, we'll make it a little bit harder then. So let's straighten that leg out. Let's just hold it up and and just point and flex. Same leg, take the same leg up. 1 and 2. And bring it down. Same leg, sit tall. 1 and 2. And bring it down. So same leg. 1 and 2. Lovely. Can you feel that's working you a bit harder? Same leg. And take it down. Let's see if we can keep going for 5 more. So we go 5 and down. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Did we feel that working? Fantastic. Let's do the other leg then. So nice and tall, take it up. We're going to go 1 and 2 and down. Lovely. Sit tall, remember. 1 and 2. Excellent. Take it up. 1 and 2. Same leg. Sit tall. We've got 5 left. So don't let it go wrong. Keep sitting tall. And down. Same leg. Two more. Good. And bring it down. Give it a rub. Good work. Okay. So we're going to go back to our bottom walks because this is a really good way to move around on chairs. A really good movement, as I said, it actually helps your walking. So we're going to try and come to the front of the chair. We're going to do what's a good way to sit, to stand, yeah? So I know we can get up chairs and we can push and we can swing, but we're going to try and do this in the way that is best to get your muscles as strong as possible, yeah? So it might be more difficult to start with, but in the long run it will be better. So just watch first. We're coming to the front of the chair. We want basically to get our weight over our feet. So we're going to bring the feet backwards. We're going to tip forward. So you can see now I'm more lined up over my feet. And then we're going to push, so don't do it yet. Then we're going to push down to stand up. So when we do this and when we sit back, we want the hands out. We really want to sit back as far as we can, which means we have to do the bottom walk every time. So I want you to come right to the front of your chair. That's the most important part here. This is the bit that makes it really work. Once you're at the front of the chair, see if you can bring your feet in a little bit, but try and keep your heels either on the ground or really close to the ground. You're then going to tip forward so your weight goes into your feet. So push your feet down a bit as you tip forward, yeah? So as you come over, you want those heels to go down. And then you're going to push the floor away to come up to standing. Do you want to have a go? I'll stand here. So tip forward. That's it, lovely. Yep, nice and easy. Stick the bottom out. So we want to try and do that with lots of control. So let's come to the front of the chair. So if your feet are out here, you need to draw them in. You need to tip forward, push the floor away, come up to standing. Try not to use your arms. And then once you're up, we're going to slowly come down to the chair. So what I want you to try and do when you sit down is try and slow your descent. So come to the front of the chair, feet underneath you, tip, push down. And the hard bit is the control, so that's where the strength is. So when we sit back, try not to drop into your chair. Try and sit back, put your hands back so you know the chair's there, and come down nice and slowly. Let's do a couple more. Front of the chair, feet in, tip forward, big push up. Lovely. Now let's see if we can slow that descent. Can we do it in 4, 3, 2, 1. Whoa, nice work. Let's do one more like that. Come to the front of the chair. Tip and push. Okay, so bottom out, hands out. Where's that chair? 4, 3, 2, and 1. Nice work. Okay, so what we're going to do now is we're going to do some standing work. So we're going to use our chair as our support. So we're going to need to do a sit to stand to get up, and then we're going to go behind our chairs. Okay? So come to the front, tip forward, big push. Lovely. So make sure that you're okay. Walk around the chair. Watch out for the chair legs. So standing behind your chair nice and tall. Feet about hip width apart. Lovely. So we're going to use the chair for support. If you need a lot of support, obviously be close to your chair. Have your hands on the chair. If you don't need as much, you can move away a little bit. You can maybe have fingers. Maybe you don't need much support at all, but use what you need, because we are going to be unbalancing ourselves a little bit. So feet hip width apart. We're going to start by trying to use the muscles at the side of the leg. So you're going to slide one leg away. So hold on to your chair for this one. So try not to tip. Yeah, so I want you to slide the leg out. Can you see it's quite low? Can you see my foot is facing forward? So this isn't a sort of leg lift like this. It's more of a push out to the side. So your weight is in both feet. Now let's slide the leg out. Try not to tip. Can you feel it here? That's what we're looking for. Come back in. So this leg is working to lift. This leg will be working to support you. So you get 2 for the price of 1 there. Let's slide it out to the side. Come back. Put the weight in both feet. Slide. Stay nice and tall. Don't make it high. Weight in both feet. So if you make it high, you'll actually make it go wrong because it'll make you tip. Keep it low. And come back. Still feel it though, can't we? Slide it out. And back. Lovely. Let's see if we can do 5 more. We've got 4 more to go. Slowly. So less high, but hold the little pause at the top. 2 more. And back to the centre. Do we feel that that was working a little bit? Okay, so weight in both feet. Slide that leg away. Lovely, nice and tall. I hope you're not cheating at home. Hope you're staying very upright. Slide that leg away, lovely. Don't lift it too high. Slide, little hold, control it back down. So remember, strength and strength in control. So try not to throw it up and let it drop. Try and keep it small. Little lift, back and control. 4 more. Control it, lovely. 3 more. Control, don't forget that control. Lovely. Excellent work, feet on the floor. So just try and move your hips gently side to side now, just to release off a little bit there. Okay, centre your weight. We're going to try and bend the knees. So this is a bit of a tricky one here. Make sure you have enough support for this, so watch first. Bend your knees, try not to stick your bottom out. Okay, we're going to try and lift the front of the feet off the floor. If you find this really difficult, I would just do one. If you do both, you've got balance as well as working these muscles quite hard. So let's have a go. Let's see if we can take them both up, but keep your knees bent. So we're avoiding doing a big tip, yes? Bend, pull them up. Can we feel that working at the front of the leg? It's tougher than it looks, isn't it? Let's take them down, okay? Let's do that again. And down. Now I'll give you a little tip that can help you. Squeeze your bottom, it gives you a bit more support, yeah? Squeeze your bottom a little bit. Let's see if we can get the front of those feet off the floor. That's good, and again, very good. Try not to stick that bottom out. And again. Lovely. And then just stand, feet on the floor again. Okay, so we're going to try and do a movement where we cross the leg behind. So from here, we're going to step one leg behind and back. And we're going to try and do it without lots of twisting. So I want you to step behind, step back. So step across, feet where they were. Step across, feet where they were. And try and stay nice and tall as you do this. I'm going to try and make it a little bit harder. I'm going to try and move one hand across. So if we're going to step with the left leg, we're going to move the left hand as well. But this doesn't have to be a big step. You could do a tiny little movement. It could be little. But we're trying to get hands and feet working together. Get those brain cells working. See if we can build a few more pathways. So it's a bit of a tricky one. Try and step behind. So if you lose it, go back to the step behind. That's it. Take your foot behind. That's it. Behind. Foot behind. Say it to yourself. Foot behind. Foot behind. Foot behind. And then we think of taking everything over to that side, where your foot goes. Excellent. Let's come back to the centre. So we had that little lift at the front of the feet, didn't we? We'll make it a bit harder now. So what we're going to try and do is control it. So I want you to squeeze your bottom now. Maybe you think that you have a £50 note between those bottom cheeks. So grip onto that. Let's bend the knees. Let's see if we can do a walk without putting our toes down. Nice and tall. So remember, lift your chest. There's a lot of strengthening going on around here. Try and keep those toes off the floor and bring them back down. How are we doing with that one? It's a bit harder, isn't it? Okay. Let's take the feet nice and wide. So think about where your chair legs are and take those feet wide. We're going to try now and push the knees out and the bottom out. So there's a little bit of balance here and a little bit of strength through the legs. And then push the floor away to stand up. And again, come down and push the floor away. So knees go wide, bottom goes out, feet are flat on the floor. Try and keep those heels down. Maybe go a little bit wider if you can. And make sure that your heel stays pushed down into the floor. And push. Good. Lovely, nice work. Take those feet back in. Okay, so we're going to do a step back. So when we do this, we're going to try and step back and take one leg as far back as we can, but without leaning forward. Okay, so a nice big step back. So you can bend both legs a little bit. That's lovely. So the back heel doesn't touch down. So most of your weight is really in that front leg, isn't it? Good. Lovely. Last one. And stand nice and tall again. Okay, so we're going to now take our weight from foot to foot. So we're going to take our feet quite wide. Try to stay upright and just shift. So we did that slide out, didn't we? It's a similar thing. You're sort of keeping your legs straight and you're shifting the weight. I want you to try and focus on something that isn't moving and see if you can keep yourself nice and upright. So we're testing your balance a little bit here. So we have got some help, but not much. Just whatever you need. See now if you can keep a little bit, as you slide across, a little bit more level. Good work. Good work. How are we doing? Okay?
Still here.
Okay. All right, so we're going to do some balance work now. So for this, I'm going to turn my chair so that I have the chair to one side. So you've got one hand on the chair, so you're sideways on. So the leg that's nearest the chair, we're just going to tap out in front. So we're going to try and keep it off the floor. Now I don't want you to lock this leg. I want you to imagine you are holding your £50 note again. So I want you to try and keep that foot as off the floor as you can. And rest that back. Yeah, so it's testing your balance a bit, because although we're tapping backwards and forwards, we're trying to keep that foot really light on the floor. Yeah? Let's see if we can do it backwards. So same leg, take it back, bend your knee a little bit that you're standing on, and see if you can just keep that almost as if it's off the floor. Again, try to keep your eye line up. Focus on something that isn't moving. And bring it back in. So you feel it's testing the muscles, testing your support, and also testing your balance a little bit. Let's see now if we can take that inside leg in front. So we've got a little bit of a tightrope walk going on here. If that's too difficult to put your heel to your toe and you feel like you're already really losing some balance, just bring it wide, a little bit wider, yeah? So it's still a narrow balance. Whatever you decide to do, now shift your weight so it's in both feet. So you want to have your back heel on the ground. Bend your knees a little bit. Can you feel that that's unbalancing a little bit, isn't it? So use as little support as you can get away with. Shoulders back, look straight ahead. Let's see if we can just hold it there. Don't forget to breathe. So don't be holding everything. Lovely, and come back. Okay, let's try those on the other side. So you can take your chair, or you can turn around, whatever you like. So we've got that leg now, the other leg near the chair. So the idea is when you do this, you squeeze your bottom a bit, you stay nice and stable, we're not tipping, but we are testing our balance. So we're going to try and tap that leg. So you're keeping it off the floor as much as you can. Good. And bring it back. Same leg, take it back, tap it back. See if you can keep it off the floor. Try to keep your eye line up, shoulders back, nice posture. Keep breathing. See if you can get away with a little bit less balance on your chair. place that foot on the floor. So again, this inside leg comes in front. So think about whether you can bring heel to toe. Centre your weight, so the weight's not just in that back leg, but in both feet. Have we got it? Now see if you can just hold that. So breathe, look straight ahead. If you're wobbling through your body, make it a little bit easier. If you're wobbling through your ankles, that's okay. That's your body trying to kind of right itself. Remember to squeeze that bottom and keep breathing. Lovely. And bring it back. Good work. Okay, should we take it back to the chair for a while? Let's take a seat again. So come back onto your chair. Lovely. So we're going to see if we can step over and back. So imagine you're stepping over something. Again, try and sit up really tall. Lovely. Okay, now we're going to change it a little bit. So at the moment we're stepping over, but what we're going to do now is we're going to slide the leg along the floor. If you push down a little bit, you'll get a little bit of resistance, a little bit of drag. So you can feel the muscles in your inner thigh. Can you feel that as you drag it back? So slide and drag. Slide and drag it back. Try and sit nice and tall. So working around the thighs helps with our support. And again, try and sit really upright, nice and open through the body. Let's do 2 more each side. Drag, slide, drag it back. Slide and drag. Excellent. Good work. So we're going to do a little bit of coordination and mirroring now. So I want you to imagine that you are looking in a mirror. So if I was to do that, and you're my reflection, what would you do? Perfect. Other hand.
Oh.
If we were mirrored.
Oh.
So you're going to try and mirror everything I do.
Oh.
Okay, and it doesn't matter if it goes wrong. Yeah, it's trying to correct it that is the thing. That it's the process of your brain trying to work it out that's important. So you're pointing your opposite hand to left. Lovely. Now, hands on knees. So hands are straight, arms are straight, and then we cross them to the shoulders. So we go straight, crossed, straight, crossed. Or do we? Straight, straight, crossed, straight, on the shoulders, crossed, straight, crossed, straight, crossed, straight. Now we're going to cross them and cross them. And it doesn't matter, it goes wrong. Lovely. Remember, you're a mirror. Excellent work. Come to the front of your chair for me. you can either reach just on the outside of the chair. It depends on your chair. You might be able to reach through the chair. I want you to kind of draw your shoulders back and open your chest. So think about that posture. So we don't want to arch the back. We want to sit into the hips, but then draw the shoulder blades together. Tuck your chin in. Lovely. And roll those shoulders. And we'll go back to that stretch we did earlier from the back of the leg. So feet flat on the floor. Take one leg out nice and straight on the heel. Really sit up tall and tip forward from your hips. So try and keep this leg straight. Don't go too far. You might need to come back a bit. Pulling those toes back. Lovely, and bring that up. Let's change to the other leg. So straight leg, sit up tall and tip forward just until you feel it. Lovely, and come back up. Excellent, well done. I hope you enjoyed the class.